If you're a cat person, you know the deal. You get all the purrs, the cuddles, the hilarious antics, but you also get the other stuff. And today we are tackling one of the most common and, let's just say it, one of the grossest parts of living with a cat, hairballs. You know the sound. You could be sound asleep, maybe you're just sitting down to eat, and then you hear it. That awful, deep, hacking sound. It's the noise that makes every cat owner on the planet leap up and start searching for paper towels, just bracing for impact. It is the one and only unmistakable sound of a hairball about to make its grand appearance.
So what exactly is that slimy tube of nastiness your cat just left on the rug? Well, believe it or not, it has a very fancy scientific name, Atricha basar. It all starts with grooming. Your cat's tongue is covered in these tiny little hooks that act like a comb, and they swallow a lot of loose hair. Most of it, just passes right through. But sometimes it gets tangled up into a mass that has only one way out.
Now, a lot of us just figure hairballs are a non-negotiable part of having a cat. But what if I told you that you can stop most of them before they even begin? See, the best treatment by far is prevention. So let's talk about the prevention pyramid and how you can build a seriously powerful defense. Okay, so think about your game plan like a pyramid. The foundation, the biggest and most important part, is just regular grooming. The next level up is feeding your cat a smart diet. And at the very top, you've got proper hydration. If you can master these three simple things, you've pretty much already won the war on hairballs. Of course, not all coats are created equal. If you've got a long-haired beauty like a Persian or a Maine Coon, daily brushing isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely critical. For our short-haired friends, 2 or 3 times a week will probably do the trick. And here's a little pro tip for you. After you're done brushing, take a grooming wipe and give them a quick once-over. It grabs all the little leftover hairs. All right, so after the brush, your next best weapon is hiding in plain sight. It's in your cat's food bowl. You've probably seen those hairball control cat foods and wondered if they actually work. Well, it's not a marketing gimmick. It's basically nutritional technology built to tackle this very problem. So how do they work? These foods are engineered with a 3-pronged attack. First, they are loaded with special fiber blends, think psyllium or beet pulp, that physically help push all that ingested hair through the digestive tract. Second, some of them have a built-in lubricant, like mineral oil, to kind of grease the slides and help everything pass smoothly. And third, they're often packed with omega-3s, which helps improve the skin and coat, meaning less shedding to begin with. So prevention is your #1 goal. But let's be realistic, sometimes a hairball is just gonna happen. So what do you do when you hear that familiar hacking sound? Don't worry, you've got some simple, effective tactics you can deploy right from your own kitchen. Most of the at-home remedies really boil down to one of 2 strategies. You can either lubricate the system to help the hairball slide on out, or you can add fiber to bulk things up and help push it out. It's all about helping things move in the right direction, which is out. For the lubrication path, a little dab of petroleum jelly on their paw is an old classic. They'll just lick it right off and it'll help things along. You could also try about a 1/4 teaspoon of olive oil or even a teaspoon of melted butter mixed into their food. It's all about making that journey a little slicker. Now, for the fiber approach, the superhero here is canned pumpkin. And I have to say this, make sure it is 100% pure pumpkin, not the sugary pumpkin pie filling. A teaspoon of that can work wonders. You can also grow some cat grass, it's a natural source of fiber, or even add a tiny pinch of a psyllium supplement, like metamucil, to their wet food. Okay, now we need to get serious for a minute, because sometimes a hairball isn't just a gross inconvenience. It can be a real medical emergency, and knowing the difference is one of the most important jobs you have as a cat owner. First off, you have to be sure it's even a hairball. Feline asthma can sound really similar. The biggest clue is their posture. When a cat is hacking up a hairball, their body is usually crouched down low to the ground. But with an asthma cough, they'll often stretch their neck straight out, almost parallel to the floor. It's a really important distinction to make. And the warning signs for a true blockage are crystal clear. If your cat is trying to vomit over and over again but nothing's coming up, if they stop eating for more than a day, if they're hiding or seem totally wiped out, or if their stomach feels hard, these are giant red flags. This could be a life-threatening blockage, and you need to call your vet, like right now. So what happens in a really bad situation where a hairball does cause a blockage? Well, veterinarians have some incredible tricks up their sleeves, including one that uses an ingredient you would never, ever guess in a million years. Okay, brace yourself. I am reading you the actual title from a real veterinary case study. Endoscopic administration of Coca-Cola for medical management of a wedged intestinal trichobazar in a cat. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Coca-Cola. And this wasn't some random shot in the dark. The amount they used in this case was incredibly specific, 55 milliliters. This was a measured, targeted, clinical procedure. Yes, we are talking about that Coca-Cola. In this case study, vets guided an endoscope down to a serious blockage in a 16-year-old cat and administered the soda directly onto it. The theory is that the acidity and carbonation help break down and dissolve the mass. And guess what? It worked. The cat fully recovered, no surgery needed. How wild is that? Wow. Okay, so we've gone from the gross sounds on your floor to high-tech cat food, all the way to a very surprising use for a soft drink. So what does this all mean for you? What's the real takeaway here for being a proactive cat owner?
It really all comes down to this simple 3-step hierarchy. Step 1, your main job is to prevent. That means consistent grooming and a good diet. Step 2 is for those rare flare-ups. Intervene with one of those simple home remedies. And finally, step 3, you need to know when to act fast. Recognize those emergency signs and get your vet on the phone.
Which really brings us to the final thought here. Your cat is hardwired to groom itself meticulously every single day. The real question is, are you being just as meticulous when it comes to grooming its overall health plan? Make that call to your veterinarian. Because with Hairballs, they are without a doubt your best ally in keeping your cat healthy and safe.